A local success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University basketball star, died of an apparent heart attack.
Rose came down bad on his left foot.
I didn't veto anything.
What if one injury, one trade, or one draft decision could change everything? The NBA is built on moments. Moments that create legends, dynasties, and rivalries. But what about the moments that never happened? The ones that leave us wondering, what if? Today, we dive into the top 10 biggest what-ifs in NBA history. These aren't just hypotheticals, they're scenarios that could have reshaped the game we love. Let's explore the alternate realities that could have changed everything.
A local success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University basketball star on his way to becoming a world champion Boston Celtic, died of an apparent heart attack today at Leland Memorial Hospital in Prince George's County.
What if Len Bias never passed away? Len Bias was set to join the Boston Celtics in 1986, a team already stacked with legends like Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. Drafted second overall, he was heralded as the next big star, the rival to a young Michael Jordan. But tragedy struck just 2 days after the draft. Bias passed away from a cocaine overdose, leaving basketball fans and analysts to wonder what could have been. Imagine Bias alongside Bird. Could the Celtics have maintained dominance through the late 80s, potentially altering the course of the Bulls dynasty in the 90s? Bias's story is not just a what if, it's a reminder of how fragile greatness can be.
You bypass the harder team in Miami. Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down.
What if Derrick Rose never got injured? Derrick Rose electrified the NBA as the youngest MVP in league history. In 2011, it felt like the Chicago Bulls were on the verge of another dynasty. Then came the ACL injury in 2012. Followed by recurring setbacks that robbed Rose of his prime. If Rose stayed healthy, he might have won multiple MVPs and brought another championship to Chicago, ending their drought since the Jordan era. Imagine a league where Rose, LeBron, and KD battled year after year for supremacy. Could Rose have been the one to prevent Miami's Big Three from dominating? What if the Orlando Magic signed Tim Duncan? In 2000, Tim Duncan nearly joined the Orlando Magic. Pairing Duncan with Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill could have created one of the most dominant trios in NBA history. So what stopped this super team? A rule by then coach Doc Rivers. No family members allowed on team planes.
I was on to say I made my visit with Tim Duncan.
Okay.
And I was at the dinner when someone in Tim's entourage, I'll just leave it that way, asked Doc, can significant others travel on the plane? And Doc said no. And you could hold, like, it was just like the energy at the table. And afterwards, my wife was like, we were dating with my wife. Yeah, we were married then. My wife said, he should have just lied. He should have said yes.
Had Duncan signed with Orlando, the league might look unrecognizable. Would the Spurs dynasty even exist? Would Orlando have multiple championships by now? And how would McGrady's career and legacy have changed with Duncan anchoring the team?
With the first pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton from Nassau, Bahamas, and the University of Arizona.
What if the Suns drafted Luka Doncic? The 2018 NBA Draft gave the Phoenix Suns their first ever #1 pick. They chose DeAndre Ayton over Luka Doncic, a decision that still sparks debate. While Ayton has been solid, Luka is a generational talent, dominating from day one. Had Phoenix drafted Doncic, they might already have multiple championships. Imagine Luka and Devin Booker as teammates, unstoppable offensively, creating a rivalry with Giannis and the Bucks and other great duos around the league. Instead, the Suns are left wondering if they let their best chance slip away. What if the Timberwolves drafted Stephen Curry? In 2009, the Minnesota Timberwolves had back-to-back picks at number 5 and number 6. They needed a guard, but selected Ricky Rubio and John Flynn, passing on Stephen Curry. Golden State took Curry at 7, and the rest is history. But what if Minnesota had drafted Curry? Would he still become the greatest shooter ever? Most likely. Or would their system stifle his growth? Maybe. And how would the Warriors dynasty look without one of the Splash Brothers? One decision reshaped the league's trajectory, especially in the 2010s. What if the Warriors traded Curry and Thompson for Chris Paul? In 2011, the Warriors considered trading a young Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson for Chris Paul. Paul vetoed the trade, unwilling to join a struggling team. Fast forward to today, and Curry and Klay are the foundation of a dynasty we know and love. Had this trade gone through, we might be talking about the New Orleans Hornets as a dynasty instead. Paul would likely have his long elusive championship, and Curry's legacy might look very different or really non-existent.
I didn't veto anything. Acting on behalf of the owners, as the owners' rep, New Orleans decided not to make the trade.
What if the Lakers got Chris Paul? In 2011, the Lakers tried to pair Chris Paul with Kobe Bryant. The trade was agreed upon, but then Commissioner David Stern vetoed it, citing basketball reasons. The ripple effects were massive. With Paul, Kobe might have won another championship, cementing his place as a top 3 player in NBA history. And Paul's career would lack the glaring absence of a title. The league itself might have looked entirely different as well, with fewer super teams forming in response.
LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
What if LeBron James never left Cleveland in 2010? LeBron James's decision to leave Cleveland for Miami in 2010 altered the league forever. It ushered in an era of player mobility and super teams. But what if he stayed? LeBron might not have the same number of championships, but his legacy would be rooted in loyalty. Would Cleveland have found another star to pair with him, or would LeBron's prime have been wasted on mediocre rosters?
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
What if Kobe Bryant stayed with the Charlotte Hornets? In 1996, the Hornets drafted Kobe Bryant, but traded him to the Lakers for Vlade Divac. It's hard to imagine Kobe in any jersey but purple and gold. But what if that trade never happened? Would the Hornets have become a powerhouse? Could Kobe have still developed into one of the game's greatest ever players? And how would the Lakers dynasty of the 2000s look without him?
I think everyone knows exactly what the circumstances are right now in terms of my decision not to play the game of basketball in the NBA. Doesn't mean I'm not going to play basketball somewhere else. I'm very solid with my decision of not to play the game of basketball in the NBA.
What if Michael Jordan never retired in 1993? This is the ultimate and last what if. Michael Jordan retired in 1993 at the peak of his powers. The Bulls won 6 championships, but could it have been 8? Would the Houston Rockets have won their back-to-back titles? Jordan's first retirement remains one of the greatest mysteries in sports. If he stayed, the 90s might have been an era of complete Bulls dominance, leaving no room for debate about the greatest of all time. There's also another big what-if surrounding the Blazers taking Sam Bowie instead of MJ in the 1984 NBA draft, but that may need a whole video in itself. And of course, we have countless honorable mentions. What if the Golden State Warriors traded Steph Curry to the Milwaukee Bucks? Or what if the Detroit Pistons drafted Carmelo Anthony instead of Darko Milicic? Or what if the Portland Trail Blazers drafted Kevin Durant instead of Greg Oden? The reality is, when looking back on NBA history, there are so many of these moments, and we could be here all day if we went through all of them. As for this video, these what-ifs are more than just speculation. They're reminders of how fragile history is. A single injury, trade, or decision could have rewritten the NBA as we know it. But what do you guys think? Which of these what-ifs fascinates you the most? And are there others you think deserve a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more upcoming videos and NBA content. My name is Damian Peters, this is Basketball Network. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.